Overcast, temperature 7, Shelby, dew point 6, altimeter 3010.
800-foot ceiling's pretty good.
Atlanta Center, ExitJet 587.
ExitJet 587, go ahead.
Yes, sir, on the ground at Statesville, number 1 for runway 28.
And ExitJet 587, I see you have a hold for release in there. It was given by the previous control. I just want to verify. Your runway 28 and cleared from Statesville to Sierra Romeo, Quebec Airport via direct Colliers. And then it's filed except when entering controlled airspace. Fly runway heading. I maintain 5,000. Squawk a code of 3137. And clearance void if not off in 10 minutes.
Okay, all that copies, and we are released then.
ExitJet 587 release. Clearance void if not off in 10 minutes.
Copy all, thank you, ExitJet 587.
For some reason, when I start that thing with my phone, it disconnects and stops working. So so I've got to just, I guess, use the buttons to do it. Lee is my tech support. Really excites her.
Requires do you get? Seems like this requires a fair amount of attention, or is that in the?
Yeah. You mean
clouds? Do you get to a point where you can have a mental break, or is it just kind of you're paying attention the whole time?
Yeah. Well, you're not doing all that much right now.
Yeah.
You know where you're flying along. As you start to shoot the approach, you're really monitoring a lot. You've got to make sure lots of things are all going right. You know, you've got wind. The wind on the ground is calm. It's obviously not calm at 6,000 feet.
ExitJet 587
So at some point,
due for 5,000
you go through that
ExitJet 587, radar
wind shear
contact 1
kind
mile
of
west
thing.
of the Statesville Airport, altitude check.
And that's what you've got
maintain 10,000 to Charlotte from 3022.
Just be mindful of all that.
587.
Endeavor 5083 at Atlanta Center. Good afternoon. Climb and maintain 16,000. The nautical altimeter is 3022. ExitJet 587, fly heading of 330. You can expect to turn out to the north and then back down south to get you above Charlotte approach there.
See, that's him right there. The jet that just left Statesville. He's climbing through our altitude going to 10,000 feet.
ExitJet 587, contact Atlanta Center 132.62.
3260, ExitJet 587.
You were in finance?
Huh?
Banking?
Yeah,
before?
yeah.
How does this compare to?
Oh, just different, that's all.
I feel like in some ways it reminds me of surgery. Kind of.
Yeah.
You're monitoring a lot of different things and you're trying to do something, but you have to make sure that you're away from staying safe and
don't
check this, check that, check this, check that, do this.
Don't concentrate on this and forget about that.
Yeah.
November 231 Delta Romeo, contact Charlotte approach on 134.75.
134.75 for 1 Delta Romeo. See ya.
Yeah.
Charlotte Mooney, 231 Delta Romeo, level 6,000.
231 Delta Romeo, shot approach, shot altimeter is 3019er. Advise the weather at Shelby, say approach request.
We got the weather at Shelby. We'll take the RNAV 23 under Shelby.
November 1 Delta Romeo, roger, you can expect it. November 906, 904 Victor, radar service determined, change advisor frequency is approved, remain the same squawk, report your miss, talk to you in a second, no observed track 2 in the field this time.
See, these are all the points that we'll fly to on the approach, so we're kind of going straight in from here, but at some point he'll clear us direct Glencoe and then clear us for the approach on in.
Yeah.
We'll just follow that. We'll have altitude and lateral guidance with this.
There's a beginning, a middle, and an end too. It's kind of, I don't know.
November 1 X-ray, X-ray is 8 miles from Mosey, cross Mosey, 3000, cleared RNAV, runway 5 approach on the Monroe, and remain this frequency. November 1 X-ray, X-ray, that was pretty broken there. If you could try it again, let's see if it works this time. If not, then try again in like 6 miles.
One guy's probably talking to 5 or 6 airplanes.
Okay, November 1 X-ray, X-ray, yep, that was broken as well. We'll try it again here in about 5 or 6 miles.
This is the approach plate that has all the information on it for the approach.
Uh-huh.
Everything getting on in there.
We're coming from the northeast?
Yeah. We'll show
now
up
why
on,
does that show that it's...
Well, that's the way we're going in. Like that. See the runways down here. There's
okay.
the airport
What's
down.
this? Is this a holding pattern?
Yeah, that's a holding pattern, yeah. And we'll go down to rats. Bad thing about touchscreen. We'll go down to
November 1 Delta Romeo, clear direct Linco, intercept the runway 23, final approach course, maintain 4000.
Okay, direct Linco, intercept the approach. We're out of 6 for 4, 1 Delta Romeo. So we'll power back a touch, slow down, find Linco. Naturally, Linco isn't on there, so we'll come back out, pre-select the approach, go to Linco. No.
November 1 X-ray shot approach, heading here. Oh, way better. Number 1 X-ray, 4 miles from Mosey. Cross Mosey, 3000. Cleared RNAV, run a 5 approach on the Monroe.
Go a little bit off to the right. will pop up on this in a little bit.
There, a naming convention, those seem like very random assortment of letters.
What, all these?
J-I-R-U-L-Z.
Yeah, every intersection is 5 letters and it has to be pronounceable. You have to be creative to pronounce some of it, but Jarul, Zimro, Z-Sug, a lot of people make up what they are, and if you're a local guy, you know, everybody around Shelby might pronounce those differently than we would.
How many pronounceable 5-letter combinations are there? There must be some redundancy.
I don't think so. I hadn't heard of any.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, 5 times 26.
26, yeah.
5 times, that's...
26 to the 5th, I guess?
Yeah, well, no, it's...
Big number.
That's what expletive is. You know, the formation point.
Yeah.
26. 5 expletive. No, it'd be more than that even. It's, like you said, it's a big number. At least 26 times 26 times 26 times 26. And let's see. Yeah, we intercept the course at 4,000 feet, so we'll stay here until we intercept the glide slope, and you'll see that little flag go away, and we'll start down. Ground speed picked up a good bit.
Yeah, I think we got up to 170 miles an hour at one point.
Really? On the descent?
148 knots.
Ooh.
Ground speed.
November 231 Delta Romeo is 20 miles from Linco, across Linco, 4,000. Cleared RNAV runway 23 approach into Shelby. Remain this frequency.
Okay, cross Linco at 4,000, cleared for the approach. We'll stay with you, 1 Delta Romeo. Can I get you on the ground there, or am I going to have to call you?
You'd have to call us.
Okay.
Attention aircraft for information, Oscar's current at Charlotte, trail altimeter 3018. November 201 X-ray, X-ray, report cancellation of IFR in the air, this frequency, or on the ground with the phone number to this TRACON. Do you have the number? One X-ray, X-ray, sorry, do you have the number? One X-ray, X-ray, the area code 704-359-0241. November 1 X-ray, X-ray, and radar service determined, change of advisory frequency is approved. No observed trap 2 in the airfield right now, and just don't forget to cancel. See you guys.
About to start our descent then?
Well, no, we're at 4,000. We start the approach
November 96, 94
at
Victor,
4,000.
ident, Charlotte altimeter 3018.
See, if you look at the
So when do we start to descend from 4,000?
Oh,
Look at the J rule or?
Crossing, no, crossing Linco.
The Linco?
And you said you have the weather at Rock Hill?
See?
The Linco, and then we take, okay.
Yeah, then we go down to
Victor,
2,500. We may not get the glide slope at Linco. We may have to be at Jirul when we get it. We'll just see how it works out. But we can descend passing Linco. We can go down to 2,500 feet.
What are these here?
That's the turbine inlet temperature, the temperature of the air going into the turbo. This is the compressor discharge temperature, the temperature of the air coming out of the turbo. And this one I have to keep under 1,600 degrees. That one I've never heard a number for.
November 94 Victor is 4 miles from Connell, cross Connell 3000, cleared RNAV, running 2 approaching the Rock Hill.
Do you find this stressful? Automatic?
Yeah. Everything's working. It might become stressful if something stopped working. Okay, well, we're about 8.5 miles from Linco, so we'll start to slow down here. A good way of starting down the glide slope without having to change much is putting your landing gear down. If you're flying along at, at a speed, and my gear speed's 120 knots, so if I'm flying along at 120 knots and I put the gear down, I'm going to come right down the glide slope.
Is the angle of glide slope pretty consistent from approach to approach?
Yeah, well, no, they're all different. It depends on, but fractions of a degree different, The typical, let me see if this one says what it is. Yeah, see, we popped up on the chart now. There we are.
226 degrees, that's from?
Yeah. That's the inbound heading that we'll turn to.
Okay, that's not an angle.
No, we're on 241 or so, and we will turn to 226, so we'll make a left turn of 15 degrees or so. See, that's not quite slow enough, so we'll
November 96, 94
we'll hang here a while, and then we'll
this frequency
bring the power down to probably 20 inches. See how that works.
Victor, thanks. Radar service is terminated.
The wind isn't that bad.
No observed traffic 2 in the field. See ya.
As we get closer, we'll just have to see where the wind changes, if we can stick with all that.
Cambridge at 889, shot departure, radar contact. Climb maintain 5,000. Damage at 889, contact departure 120.5.
Okay, see, I pulled the power back some more, and our speed's now at the right place to just lower the gear.
Airspeed, yeah. Airspeed, not
Yeah.
ground speed.
Oh, ground speed doesn't matter.
For that, yeah.
See, we got the glide slope.
You just put the gear down?
Yeah.
November 231 Delta Romeo, report cancellation IFR in the air, this frequency, or on the ground via the TRACON phone number.
Okay, same phone number you gave the other guy?
231 Delta Romeo, that number ends in 0241, is that the one?
Yes, sir, that's it.
That would be the one, radar service terminated, change to advisory frequencies approved.
Talk to you later, 1 Delta Romeo. Shelby Mooney 231 Delta Romeo is Linco inbound on the RNAV 23 approach into Shelby. See, this is indicating that the glide path is above us, so we'll stay level until we intercept it, and then it'll put the nose down and we'll head on down.
That yellow arrow being above the cross mark?
Right.
Means it is above us, okay.
Yeah.
And then we're straight on with the, that line is...
We're still a long way away from the airport. We're Linco, we were 15 miles away from the airport, so we don't, we're not in a big rush to start down. Power a little bit. There we go.
That indicator's coming down, so we're
Yeah.
approaching the
So
cloud.
we will intercept it and we will start down.
Just pull back on the throttle, is that the...
Well, no, it'll just put the nose down. See, we're going like 90 knots now. So we can add a little speed. I'll come back some on the power to 20 inches as we get closer, but we're still, 10 miles from the airport, so we don't need to be
Snail pace.
snail pace, right?
Does the autopilot do that?
Yeah,
So it'll bring our nose down and it'll...
right. See, it's showing it's intercepted the glide slope.
Now our vertical speed indicator shows we're...
Yeah, we're going down.
So the autopilot will pretty much take you until you have to put the wheels on the ground?
Right. It'll keep chugging. Like I said, it does a whole lot better job than I do. I hand flew an approach last week, but it's just hand-eye coordination like a giant video game, just staying on top of it. This is not that complex an approach, really, going straight in. And we ought to, let's see, they're calling it 800 overcast. The ground's at 850 feet, so another 1,400 feet we should pick up the ground.
800 overcast means 800 above
the ground, yeah.
So 800 plus 800 is about 1,600.
Yeah.
We're at under 3,000.
We're at 2,800 right now, so another 1,200 feet to go to see the ground, maybe.
How do you know what the level of the clouds is?
Well, that's listening to the weather.
Gotcha.
When we heard the weather, said 800 overcast. Shelby 1 Delta Romeo's gyro inbound.
I see something.
Yeah, well, we're not. We got another 700 feet to go. But it's getting darker down there. That's how you tell. The white clouds get darker than you're getting closer to the ground. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting darker.
Oh yeah, I can see buildings down there.
Yeah, now we can see the ground. Yeah.
Really is like a ping pong ball though.
Yeah.
Up high.
Yeah. Zimro's 2.5 miles from the runway. Shelby 1 Delta Romeo, Zimro inbound on the runway 23 approach into Shelby. A little bit worse than advertised.
I see the runway.
Yeah. I talked to you about a Foxtrot. Yeah. Have a good one.